How was your day? Um, Today we are going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. Actually, we were able to look at the history of diversity, and we talk about the pre 20th century, the mid 20th century, and we look at the 21st century, and we look at some of the things that have happened, some of the um, voices that came to raise the issue of diversity that became a concern. We talk about the lives of Martin Luther King Jr., talk about the United Nations, that have promoted the issue of diversity, that it has come to be where we are today. So, and we're able to bring some of you in our studio to just exchange some kind of discussion. So, today I may not be bringing anybody in the studio, but subsequently I will still do that. So you people should get prepared to contribute as much as possible, all right? So maybe anytime I'm going to bring some people in the studio, maybe I'll share the topic with them so that they can prepare ahead and be part of the people that can share in the discussion, all right? So unfortunately, you see it's dark now because this is where we find ourselves, unstable power supply. But let's manage to do what Daniel is using to hold light for me handset. So this is the kind of sacrifice we are making here to make sure that you receive the training. So I want to appreciate all of you for um, taking time to be part of today's training. All right. So since we don't have light, let me try and rush through so that we'll be done. So, but let me first and foremost identify some of you that are joining us. Prashant from India, thank you for joining to be part of this conversation. If you join us, you can do way to share the link with others. Let them also be a part of today's training. Put it on your wall. Invite others to be part of it. Agnado, Matthew, you're welcome as well. All right, so today we're going to consider legal and ethical considerations in diversity. All right, so the question I would like to ask you is should we consider legal requirements for diversity in all the organization, or should we just allow it to the organization to decide on their own initiative whether to bring the issue of diversity into perspective, or should we not do anything at all? The question is, should diversity be a legal requirement or a voluntary initiative? This is what we're asking. Should diversity be a legal requirement or a voluntary initiative? All right. So, um, the truth of the matter is that some, argue that organizations should be free to decide on what they want, and then others believe that legal enforcement should be put in place to prevent discrimination. So my question to you, those of you that have joined us today now, is what is your position on this matter? Should diversity be a legal requirement, or should we allow the organization to decide that voluntarily based on their own initiatives? What is your take? What's your position? I'm looking at your comment section. I want to see what you say in the comment section regarding this matter. Should diversity be a legal requirement, or should it be a voluntary initiative of the organization? What is your opinion? Yes, what is your opinion? Um, I'm looking at your comment section. I want to see your comment section so that I can read it out, your opinion. And then I think you should be able to also say why you consider it to be a voluntary or a legal requirement. All right, are we there? I want the training to be participatory, so you too can participate by making comments. Comment, provide an answer, and also share the link with others. Let them also be a part of it. Put on your wall, inviting others to join, and then also receive this free training. All right. share as many time as possible to other people and let them be a part of this training. So I'm trying to look at your comment section. You're not dropping comments. You're not answering my question. Are you not hearing me? Can't you hear me? Let me know if you're hearing me, please. Can you hear me clearly? Hello, can you hear me? All right. Yes, you can hear me, right? Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's fine. So you people don't want to answer my question. Should we consider diversity to be a legal requirement or a voluntary initiative? Yes. You know, someone is saying that it should be a legal requirement. Many people are saying it should be a legal requirement. All right. Should be a legal requirement. So that is what most voices I can see here. They're saying that it should be a legal requirement. All right. So now that's fine. Diversity should be a legal requirement, right? So if that is the case, let's look at some of the key diversity laws and regulations that we have around the world. Okay, let's look at some of the diversity laws and regulations we have around the world. Number one is the United States of America. The equal employment opportunity laws of the United States. The equal opportunity laws of the United States, all right, is one of those legal requirements that affect diversity, all right? Equal employment opportunity laws. What does this law say? The Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits workplace discrimination, all right, based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Do you understand? So it doesn't matter from where you come from, so far as you find yourself in America, with the legal documents that will make you to be in America, it means that you can also work in America, even if you are not an American citizen. Do you understand? Do you understand? Because that's not a problem. Then whether you are black or you are white, you are Muslim, Hindu, or whatever religion, you are given opportunity to work. Do you understand? So that is the law in the United States of America. That's what some of you are struggling to be in America. Everybody wants to go to America. You understand? It's now that a lot of things are trying to change, but everybody still want to go to. There's still that equal opportunity. All right. If you are having legal document, it means that you will be considered. I'm not talking about illegal immigrants. I'm talking about people that have legal document that qualify them to stay in the United States of America. All right. Then you are qualified to work in America because there's a law there, equal employment opportunity law. And this law prohibits what? Workplace discrimination. So whether you are black, white, you are to work. Do you understand? So that is the law. Okay. So and then there's another one, Americans with Disability Act. Americans with what? Disability Act. EDA. All right, 1990 requires organization to provide reasonable accommodation for employees with disabilities. So how many aspects of diversity that we have touched here now? We talk about the issue of race, we talk about the issue of color, we talk about the issue of religion, we talk about the issue of sex, we talk about the issue of national origin. Do you understand? And then we'll talk about the issue of disability. 7 aspects of what diversity that we have covered, or that have been covered under the United States of America Equal Employment and Opportunity Law. Do you understand? So this is what has been covered here. You understand? So holistically, the law tries to protect these diversity differences, make sure that everybody is being accommodated. Do you understand? So, for example, now in 2020, Walmart, our popular Walmart now, they paid $20 million to settle a disability discrimination lawsuit after failing to accommodate a deaf employee. That is someone that was deaf, that cannot hear. This one was deaf, could not hear, but I don't know how the person finds him or herself in the organization, but maybe at some point the organization felt that they cannot continue with this person. So as a result, they have to pay a lawsuit. Do you understand? $20 million. So if you convert that into Naira, that's about how much? 20 billion. That's a lawsuit they pay. You understand? About 20 to 25 billion. Do you understand? That's how much a company paid. So if a company in Nigeria paid 20 million Naira for this kind of an issue, it's not a small money, right? You know it's not a small money. So that's what Walmart paid for their inability to accommodate a deaf employee. I get a point now. So that's it. So another law that we'll talk about here is the European Union, the anti-discrimination directives. The anti-what? Discrimination directives. The EU Equal Treatment Directives, that's 2000, prohibits discrimination in employment and social security. All right, so they are also against discrimination whatsoever. Do you understand? And then the gender equality strategy, that is the 2020 to 2025, pushes for equal pay and leadership opportunities for women. And I think right now the European president is a woman. Do you understand? And most of the European countries, some of their prime ministers are women. Do you understand? A lot of them are women. Do you understand? So I think it's working, shaping the system. That is a system that implements laws. The system that respects the rule of law make things work in their places. So the European Union and all the country members, all the state members, the member states are making sure that these laws are working in their system. Do you understand? So European Union is out there doing its best. Do you understand? Then the gender equality strategy is working. Do you understand? For example, now the UK gender pay gap reporting law requires companies to publish salary differences between men and women. You understand? So you have to publish it. They want to know how much you are paying men and how much you are paying women. Do you understand? So that the gap will be closed. Do you understand? So if you are paying women, so these are the issues. Do you understand? So equal pay opportunities. I think these things are working. They are paying off. Do you understand? They are paying off. So they are paying off. And then we have the Nigerian Federal Character Principle. For Nigeria. So Nigeria to enter inside. So let's see whether Nigeria is helping this matter, because this one I am experiencing it. So I will be critical about it. All right. So let's see whether the Nigerian Federal Character Principle is being implemented as being designed. Because one thing to design something perfectly in a document, it's another thing to implement it. Do you understand? It's like somebody want to join me in the studio today as well. So who is in the studio with me here now? Can you say your name? Raj. Is it Raj? So this is what it is. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So now, Nigerian Federal Character Principle. The Federal Character Principle mandates equal representation of different ethnic groups in public institutions. Is that what is happening in the reality? This Federal Character Principle. Because this one, I'm not just explaining it. I am experiencing it. So the question is that, is there equal representation in Nigerian institution? For instance, now the appointment in President Tinubu's government now, for instance, now, is there equal representation of ethnic groups in the government of President Tinubu, for instance, now? Is there equal representation in the military, in the Nigerian armed forces? Is there equal representation of the ethnic group in Nigeria? Even if we want to take the statistics of the fact that, okay, we have some of the tribes that are more in numbers than others, but the percentage of those that are not much, how many of them are enlisted in these armed forces? How many of them? What about the federal institution like ministries? How many? Is this principle being respected? Because according to what it says, that government agencies must ensure that no single ethnic group dominates recruitment. Is it what is obtainable in this country? This one, I told you I'm going to be very critical about this one because it's what we experience. Somebody's not telling us stories. It's something that we know. It's something that we are seeing. It's something that is affecting us. So the question is the federal character principle, is it working as being designed in Nigeria? Your answers, I'm seeing them here. It's capital no. No equal representation in Nigeria. No equal representation. All of you. So this is a testimonial to tell you that this principle, though with good intentions, with good design, is not working as it's being designed to function. Do you understand? That is the truth. It's not working. Yes, it's not working. Yeah. So let's that one is a style 000. It's not working. Do you understand? Then let's look at the China minority group employment policies. The China minority group policies. All right. Because this Nigeria one also was targeted to deal with the issue of ethnic discrimination, sectional discrimination. All right. But that has not been working effectively. Do you understand? And then somebody also saying that there is no equal representation in Ghana too. There's somebody from Ghana is also saying the same thing, that in Ghana too is not working well. Do you understand? So let's look at the China minority group employment policies. All right. So China has affirmative action program for ethnic minorities in education and employment. Do you understand? So the Chinese like the Xinjiang government programs encourage the hiring of Uyghur minorities. Do you understand? So they make sure that their minority groups have an opportunity in the government. They are so specific about it. Do you understand? But you know, the Chinese may not have. It's not a diverse country in terms of culture like Nigeria. Do you understand? So they have just few of that, and I think it's being accommodated. Do you understand? But unlike Nigeria here, where the ethnic majority groups take the share, and then the other ones you find your square root. Nobody cares about you. Do you understand? So this is it. But other nations have been able to address this. Nigeria is not able to. People are saying Ghana also is not able to achieve that. So let's look at ethical consideration in diversity. What are the ethical consideration in diversity? All right. So when we talk about ethical consideration in diversity, we're talking about the issue of equity versus equality. All right. Equity versus equality. All right. All right. When we talk about the issue of equity, equity does not only mean equality. All right, but there should be a base under which everybody should be able to meet his or her expectations. Do you understand? Effective, that's what it means. But equality means that we should have be at the same level. Do you understand? will be doing the same thing. So, but equity does not necessarily mean that we should be the same thing. Let me give you example now. All right. Let's say I want to show you something. You see this and you see this, they are not the same in height. All right. So we can consider these two as different bases. Do you understand? When you talk about equality, this is not equality. All right. This is not equality at all. But this can serve as equity. All right. At the same time, it can serve as equity. All right. Let's say that maybe there is a wall to cross. All right. There's a wall to cross, and there is a tall person and a short person. All right. And so what that means is that if you ask a tall person to stand on this small one that is not taller than this, the tall person can be able to stand here and cross the wall. Do you understand? And then you ask the shorter person to also stand on this tall one, and then he can stand on this tall one and then be able to cross the same wall. Do you understand? So in that case, what you are able to do is you are being able to provide equity for these both parties. Do you understand? That's what equity means. The basis on which both parties can operate and operate effectively. That's what it means. But when it comes to equality, we expect that we will have something like it is same in height. Do you understand? Something that is same in height. Do you understand? See, if you look at these two now, they are almost same in height or same. Do you understand? So this is the issue. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So equality is different from equity. Do you understand? So now let's look at what the book here say. Equality means treating everyone the same. Treating everyone the same. Like I said, if we put this for everybody to cross on it, it means that you provide what is called equality, right? But equity means providing resources based on individual needs. Based on individual needs. Someone who is tall can stand on this and cross the fence. Okay? So it means that he needs something just to aid him a bit to go cross, and that's the need. He doesn't need something tall again. But someone who is short needs something tall or taller to help him to cross. So in this case, you are provided the resources based on both parties' needs. Do you understand? This is what we're talking about here. So that is equity. All right. Now, for example, a company providing assistive devices for employees with disabilities follow equity, not just equality. Do you understand? So if there are devices that let's say laptop, a laptop of a blind person may be different from a laptop of someone who is not blind, because the keyboard cannot be the same. The touchpad may not be the same. Do you understand? So that a blind person can be able to operate with it. If we give a blind person this normal keyboard, they will not be able to operate with it. But if we give a keyboard that is designed specifically for the blind, then they will be able to use it effectively. I get a point now. So this is equity. So when you are providing as devices that are able to, okay, let me give you an example now. In the office here, right? I was using laptop. When Daniel came, Daniel collected my laptop because of the nature of work he was going to be doing. And the laptop I was using was more preferable than the one we bought for him. So we have to exchange. Do you understand? So I collected his own because my own work was lesser than or different in terms of technicalities. Do you understand? So this is it. So it's based on needs, not necessarily on equality. Do you understand? So that's what it means. Now, let's look at tokenism in diversity hiring. Tokenism in diversity hiring. Some organizations hired diverse employees only for appearances, but fail to provide growth opportunities. All right. So, A tech company may hire women in engineering roles, but fail to promote them to leadership position. Do you understand? So that is you hire some people just to pay them a certain token to do their work, but there's no provisions that they will experience growth in that organization. Do you understand? So the issue of tokenism in diversity hiring. So sometimes also, and that is being targeted on certain groups of people. Like, okay, we hire you are a woman, you cannot exceed this kind of particular position in the organization. Do you understand? And then may continue to rule and reign in that organization. All right. So corporate responsibilities versus legal compliance. All right. Some companies promote diversity voluntarily, while others only do so because the law requires it. All right. So if the law requires it, you have to do it. All right. But some do it voluntarily. Maybe in the places where the law does not require it, they do it voluntarily. Do you understand? So, for instance, Google and diversity program go beyond legal requirement, focusing on mentorship and inclusion. All right. So that's just that going the extra mile to do what they think is best to do for humanity. You understand? But sometimes there may be law in places. Most of these companies, they have social corporate responsibilities that they offer to their communities, the immediate communities where they are operating. That's why I see Dangote group of companies where they are operating, they used to give um, scholarship to the community, sometimes build hospitals, sometimes build schools for the community benefits. Do you understand? It's part of their corporate social responsibilities. Do you understand? That's what they are doing in their communities. All right. So, and they're doing so because it is required in government laws that they should be able to provide that. And so, if you are not able to provide it, the community people may rise up and say to say that you are damaging the environment and they are not benefiting anything from it. Pack your car and leave. Do you understand? And then you will leave. Do you understand? So that's it. But when you provide those facilities, the community, is able to cooperate with you. So, see that you continue to do your business in that environment. All right. So diversity, the issue of legality in diversity um, must be in place. So organizations should not just be left alone to do whatever they want to do. It should be put in place that um, there should be legal requirement to make organizations to deal with this issue and avoid the issue of discrimination, so that people will not discriminate against others based on where they come from, based on the language they're speaking, or based on their religion. Because some of the things that we see in our Nigerian system here, right? If you are not you belong to a particular religion and the leadership is that is of that religion, then you end up suffering. Do you understand? Even sometimes, even those that are working, sometimes they find it difficult to progress simply because the leadership is not of their own religion, or is not of their own tribe, or is not of their own section. Do you understand? So it becomes so difficult to progress. Do you understand? So that's what it is in our system here. All right. So this is what it is. So diversity, legality in diversity is very important factor and must be considered. So I want us to look at diversity and inclusion. Diversity and inclusion. All right. Diversity and inclusion. So the question I would like to ask you is that, does your workplace emphasize diversity and inclusion more? Where you are working now, does it emphasize the issue of diversity and inclusion where you are working on? Because we are talking about the issue of diversity, we're talking about the issue of inclusion. So now, in your organization where you're working, whether a parastatal or whether a government agency or private institution, are they emphasizing the issue of diversity and inclusion? Are they honoring what they are saying? Are they doing it? If the government is saying that and we are working to make sure that all sections of the countries are carried along. Is it true? That is the question. Is it true? So that is where the issue lies, all right? So diversity hiring, that is diversity, that is hiring different people, but not necessarily including them. It's possible that you can hire people, but they are not being included in certain things. Like the issue that we're talking about, like a tech organization hiring women for just engineering positions and jobs, but they are not to participate in leadership. There's no opportunity for growth in leadership. That is what we call exclusion. There's no inclusion in that. That's the very thing we call exclusion. Do you understand? Call exclusion. So inclusion means ensuring all employees feel valued and engaged. That is, everybody feel that I'm carried along, I'm participating, I'm given the opportunity to participate, I'm given opportunity to contribute, right? So they are also feeling engaged and being given opportunity to contribute. That is inclusion, right? So these are the issues. So let's look at the key differences between diversity and inclusion, right? Diversity without inclusion is ineffective. Diversity without inclusion is ineffective. Organization can have diverse workforces, but still struggle with issue of inclusion. Yes, it's possible. You can have people, so many people employed from different locations, from different diverse background, but are they being carried along in all things? Are they having a sense of being included, a sense of belonging? Do you understand? So all of this needs to be considered. Then inclusion creates a positive work environment. That is, inclusive workplaces foster better teamwork and innovation. You understand? So people who feel included, who have this sense of belonging, are better positioned to give their best. They are better positioned to contribute and give more to the organization that employs them. All right. So measuring inclusion, employees retention rates among minority groups, participation in decision-making process, workplace satisfaction surveys are the possible measuring um you know measuring mechanism you can put in place to determine whether there is inclusion in the workplace. How many minorities are in that workplace? All right. How many of them are being retained? All right. How many of them are given opportunity to contribute in decision making in that organization? And of course, are they feeling satisfied in their workplace, or are they feeling excluded and dissatisfied, discriminated against? So this will help you to measure inclusion and understand whether the organization is carrying out inclusive policies or they are carrying out exclusive policies. All right. Then strategies for promoting inclusion. What are the strategies that we can put in place to promote inclusion? Inclusive leadership. Leadership should be open to everybody who qualify to become a leader in that organization. It should not be that because you are not a particular religion or you are not from a particular tribe, then you cannot be given opportunity to, contribute in decision making. I think that is not correct. Do you understand? So Unilever CEO publicly commit to gender balance in leadership. And then of course, women should be also given opportunity. It should not just be men alone that can lead the organization. Women also should be given opportunity to bring out their potentials, all right? Because as far as I'm concerned, women also are doing well and have served in various capacities and they did well. You can see country levels we have one of the women that I so much like now, the Prime Minister of Barbados. She's a voice. Do you understand? And I think she's out of her country. Where we have Iceland. Iceland also, the woman now is Prime Minister. And in Africa here we have Namibia. So in Africa here we have Namibia. Namibia has elected their first women president. Do you understand? And I think that is what it should be. All right, and that's how it should be. And so women should be given opportunities. In our country here, women serve in various capacities that they deal with. The former NAFDAC boss, Dora Akuye, I think with one of the best brains in Nigeria here at that time. And then Dr. Okonjo Iweala, and also still serving various capacity and did well. So leadership positions should be given to women as well. In countries like Nigeria, I don't know when women will begin to rule this country as president. Even the woman that made an attempt, Sarah Jibri made an attempt to contest the presidency of this country. Do you know what's surprising? What's surprising was that even women did not support her. Because in the delegate of the PDP at that time, she got one vote. So it means that she voted herself. No other, even women were delegated, they did not vote for her. So you can imagine. So women are so inferior that they cannot even support their own. You understand? So, and that shows you the level of exclusion in our system here. Even the affirmative action that we're talking about in Nigeria here has not been implemented. The 35 affirmative measure that we are talking about, are clamoring for. I think during Jonathan administration was 40. I think during Buhari and this our current president, I think they're talking about 35 affirmative action. Yet we are still not meeting it. Do you understand? Women are not given that opportunity. Yes, we're talking about 70, we're talking about 65 and 35. That's men 65 still dominating, women 35. Even the 35% we're not reaching. Are there not women that are capable? There are, but why? It shows that Nigeria is a very, 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 very it's a country that is not respecting diversity principles, right? Discriminating against its women, and of course, other diversity factors like religion, culture, tribes, right? And other factors. Do you understand? So these are the issue. So employees resource groups like create support network for minority employees. Yes, but sometimes in some organization monitor groups we form, a kind of association, a kind of their minority meetings to advance their voices, and express their needs and concerns. Do you understand? So such should be giving them the opportunity to express their feelings. And of course, anti-bias training, right, helps employees recognize unconscious biases. Some of the biases are not consciously done. Sometimes people take action or say things that, intentionally they did not mean it, or they say them out of ignorance. Do you understand? Not necessarily that they intentionally want to hurt someone, right? So these things are there, and we must put them into consideration. Employees should receive training on things like this, so that it can help them to interact effectively with others. Do you understand? So these are the things that we consider for today. All right. So tomorrow we'll be looking on other aspects, and when we come tomorrow, we'll look at other aspects. All right. But I believe that you have learned something today. All right. We don't have light. It's handset that we're using. The light you are seeing now is handset. 3 handsets have been powered to give you light so that we can have this training. All right. So I think we'll not take it more than the one where we have gone so far. But if you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section. We can see it and respond. If you don't have any question, I will see you on Thursday. There will be no training tomorrow. All right. So any question? And somebody is saying that women had 33% during Jonathan administration, and it remained the highest in the history of Nigerian administration. So you can imagine. So, but they were talking about 40% during the Jonathan administration. I think they were talking about 40%, but at least many women managed to got 35%. Yeah, and it remained the highest. It remained the highest. All right. So that's it. So Pekura is asking, how can women be included in all the men in all that men are doing? How can women be included in all that the men are doing? Well, women should be able to position themselves well, right? Um, Okay, someone, Dominic, you love the studio, so you want to join the studio. So come in now. I'll ask you a question and then we interact. All right. So women should be okay. Let me take it. Okay, someone is saying here, how can women be included in all that men are doing? Women should be able to support, first and foremost, acknowledge their potentials and be able to support each other and stand as a group of people that are being discriminated, and should be able to, raise voices for themselves and then agitate, all right, and act and demand for their inclusion as much as possible. And they should be able to work together as a common team, with a common purpose. But when in a situation whereby women themselves are not supporting their fellow women, how do you expect men to treat them? I gave you one example during the presidential election where you know Sarah Jubilee contested for the presidency, and all the delegates that were there, I think women were there, plenty of them. Out of 1,000 plus delegates, women were there. Women were there up to like 300. But what happened? Only one vote for a woman. One vote. So it means that she voted for herself. So no woman voted her. So what is the meaning of that? It means that the women themselves are against themselves, right? So women should first and foremost reposition themselves, right? Positioning matters. It's how you position yourself that you will be, considered. If you position yourself in such a way that there's nothing good at you, you position yourself that you are just answerable to the husband or to the men, or you are to belong in the other room. That I think I don't want to mention it, but somebody says something in the other room. I don't know, it's our former president. I don't want to go deep into it. But if you know that you are in the other room and that's where you belong, so how do you want you to be put in a position of leadership? Do you understand? So women should position themselves well and should place demands on the people that cares to hear them, to consider them, and then engage themselves in. Because if you sit that men should give you the opportunity, they will not give you. You have to contest elections. Buy your form, gather resources, buy your form. Women should support their candidate. Let every election, let women present their own candidate and they should vote for the candidate they presented. So if you are behaving like that, men will take you serious. But when you yourself are not supporting, your follow, forget it. Men will not give you the opportunity. It's you that you have to go for it and ask for it, demand for it. Then you will get the result you want. All right. So thank you very much. Any other issue? And for those of you that are asking for certificate, for the past examination that you have written, the certificate, we reach to Dan. I think the contact has been provided. Reach out to Daniel, get your certificate. He'll help you to download your certificate or give you a link, a serial number to download your certificate. So these are the issues. So that's it. Somebody is saying that the women were both with money to vote against Madam Jibri. Yes, actually, it's possible. It's a possible issue because maybe she was not able to afford enough to give them to vote because when it comes to delegates, is who gives more that they go for. Do you understand? Sometimes you don't go based on, but if women are serious and they really want to score a point, you know, they can still vote their own, even if nobody gives them shishi, because it's not about the money. You are fighting for the future. Do you understand? So if it depends on if you just say because somebody give you money to support him or her, and then that's what you're going for, it means that you are going to find it difficult to achieve your dreams as women. Do you understand? In the country like this, so sometimes you just have to forget about the money, do the right thing, support your own, and get the result you want, and then that will be better for you. So thank you very much. This is where we're going to stop it. See you um on Thursday. Have a wonderful night rest. Bye.